Nobody. Gasoline when water falls on it.
Hey, hello. Hey.
Shayek malak wa aako. Hey, te koncha kana karo.
Hello everyone, it's me, Victoria, welcome back. Or if you're new here, hello again. So in this video, we'll be talking about the Amazing Digital Jocks show. Oops, I think I misspoke. I meant the Amazing Digital Circus finale, the last act. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. So we pick up right where we left off. Kane has just been deleted by Kinger. Everyone is understandably freaking out. And what does Jocks do? He starts going off on everybody. Because of course he does. And then, and I need you to understand how personally I'm taking this, he walks up to Kinger and pushes him. Jocks, the fucking rabbit. Do not put your Cheeto-dusted fingers on my goat. Let that be the first and last time that ever happens. But it gets worse. Because Jocks then goes at Regatha and brings up her abusive mother to her face during a crisis. And we're supposed to be feeling sorry for this guy. Hell no, fuck this guy, he sucks. So after all that, everyone is sad because, they're still trapped. Kane is gone, and the circus is literally falling apart without him. Gangle, Jocks, and Kinger split off, and Pomni follows Kinger. Kinger is doing his whole imagination, mind manifesting, reality patching, whatever you want to call it, trying to teach Pomni how to help fix the circus. Pomni tries to help, but she fails. She starts crying, saying how she just wanted to help everyone and that she feels stupid for trying, and Kinger comforts her. And we actually get a really sweet little montage of Kinger trying to teach Pomni how to use her mind to help patch up the circus. And eventually everyone except Jocks joins in. Which is cute, I like this part genuinely. But I also have a problem with this. Two problems, actually. Kinger is basically being reduced to the therapist guy at this point. And I like Kinger, but he's not just emotional support. He's literally one of the smartest characters here. He's a programmer. He helped create this system. He helped create Kane. And now, later in the movie, Kane comes back with basically no explanation. So my question is, why couldn't Kinger have actually done something more active there? If anyone should have been able to understand or even help Kane, it would be him, right? Instead, he's mostly just used for emotional moments. Also, like literally minutes before this wholesome montage, Kane had a full mental breakdown and physically and mentally tortured the entire cast. And nobody's gonna bring that up. No, we're just doing arts and crafts now. Okay, fine. Moving on. Then suddenly the screen cuts to Jocks being abstracted. My first reaction was pure joy, but I genuinely didn't expect that. Like Glitch and especially Gooseworks obviously has some favoritism for Jocks, so I fully expected him to make it out fine. And the fact that he dies off screen too, bold move honestly. I'll give them that. But what was the point of hyping up Jocks' abstraction for 3 episodes straight if you're just gonna make him abstract off screen? Literally most of the movie is about Jocks, but you couldn't spare a few seconds to let us actually see him abstract fully. Now this is where I start getting frustrated again. They're all hiding from abstracted Jocks because obviously they don't want to get hurt. Makes sense. But then Zubul and Regatha start getting emotional over him. Zubul, I'm not trying to be mean, but why are you crying? You and Jocks were constantly arguing. Same goes for you, Regatha. And especially you, Gangle, because he picked on you the most compared to the rest of the cast. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Gangle didn't cry for Jocks, and she says, why can't I cry for him? When he's abstracted, which is good because it's basically saying, hey man, you don't have to feel bad about terrible people. Especially if they, abused you. But then later, when Jocks was inside the tent, Gangle was crying for him anyway. So what was the point of that line then? So Regatha reveals that she and Jocks used to actually be friends until his best friend Ribbit got abstracted. And after that he just got more mean and aggressive. After Regatha tells Pomni about Jocks and Ribbit, Pomni actually hugs her and comforts her, which, okay, that was genuinely cute, I'm not gonna lie. And Pomni calls Regatha her best friend, which is sweet but also kind of highlights a problem with the whole series. Because did the show actually show us that friendship developing? Not really. We're 8 episodes in and the best friend reveal is happening in the finale. A little late for that, don't you think? And also, why did the hug last for so long? I genuinely thought they were gonna make out. Like, look at this frame right here, you can't tell me it doesn't look like they're kissing. Then Pomni finds a gun, tracks down abstracted Jocks. And I genuinely thought she was about to shoot him, but no, she shoots the hallway lights instead. And then, oh lord, how in the world am I going to explain this? Pomni somehow goes into Jocks' mind, his dreams. Because that's a thing now, I guess. There are 5 doors, and one of them is chained up. She goes to the first door and opens it. Now we see Jocks standing in a hallway staring at Regatha's door, which has her face crossed out, implying she got abstracted. And then Pomni from Jocks' dream walks up to him and Jocks just grabs her by the throat, choking her. No music, Pomni's face turning blue. Jocks with a completely blank expression. That scene is uncomfortable. Like genuinely uncomfortable in a way I didn't expect from this show. He eventually stops, and Pomni from Jocks' dream runs. Even the real Pomni was freaked out after seeing that shit, so she quickly shuts the door. She goes to the second door, and for some reason Jocks was flirting with Gangle, in a maid outfit, for some reason. Seriously, who wrote this finale, dude? Pomni tries to open the chained up door, but surprise, she can't open it. She then goes to the 4th door, and we see Jocks standing in the hallway again, but this time we see Gangle's face crossed out. Zubul then pops out of nowhere saying how Jocks killed the only person they ever loved and now they will kill him. Jocks says that they've always blamed him for everything, so we get this goofy showdown of Zubul trying to kill him. They run towards him with 2 chainsaws, and Jock screams in a very cartoonish way. I can tell this specific dream is inspired by Looney Tunes because he somehow pauses time and changes the scenery. He changes the scenery to the Grand Canyon, unpauses time, and Zubul falls down. Pomni closes the door and opens the 5th door. We see for Joxes, the 4th one is playing the piano and the other 3 are playing cards. Pomni tries to open the door with a real Jox in it, but surprise, it's locked again. Pomni says, do any of the other Joxes know where the key to the door is? The Jox in the maid outfit says that he doesn't have it, and even if he did, he wouldn't give it to her. He says something misogynistic about women, and Pomni has had enough, so she throws a glass bottle at him. Suddenly, the maid Jox and the other 2 Joxes disappear. The 4th Jox who was playing the piano gives Pomni the key, and then eventually he disappears too. Pomni opens the door, and we see what happened to Jox when he first arrived at the circus. And also, can I just say how much of an awful person Jox is? He pushed Kaufmo away and then acted shocked when Kaufmo abstracted. And he did the same thing with Ribbit before that too. At some point you have to stop acting surprised when constantly hurting people damages your relationships. And from what we learned, Jox basically barged his way into Kaufmo's and Ribbit's friendship. Got super close to Ribbit, opened up emotionally to her once, and then immediately started distancing himself from her and hiding behind Kaufmo again instead of actually communicating like a normal person. And don't even get me started on the stuff with his mom. Before Ribbit abstracted, Jox talked about how his parents divorced and his dad left. And one day he had this horrible argument with his mom. She hugged him afterward, basically saying it's okay, and instead of calming down, he literally pushed her away. She didn't move and left the scene without even checking if she was okay afterward. Like, dude, what? Now I've seen people say Jox's mom was emotionally abusive to him, which like, if she actually did emotionally abuse him, that still doesn't excuse what he did. He literally admitted to potentially killing his own mom. And Ribbit is low-key kind of a weirdo too, because what do you mean?
I bet she's fine. If the police never went after you, she must still be alive.
Girl, this man basically just admitted to committing a crime, and that's your response. We then see a bunch of sad scenes of Jox pushing Ribbit away, eventually causing her to abstract, and then doing the same thing to Kaufmo. And the way Jox has the absolute nerve to cry over Kaufmo when he didn't even give a fuck about him. Poor Ribbit and Kaufmo. They deserve a better friend than this purple piece of shit. We then see the actual Jox. And honestly, I don't know where they are or how to describe this place. They're in a dark room, I guess. So Jox is saying how much of a horrible person he is, and it's like, yeah man, you think. Pomni runs up to hug him, and he's literally insulting her while she's trying to help him, saying how he hates her and please leave him alone.
Please. Leave me alone. I hate you.
And I know people are probably going to say,
But oh, he's just hiding his own true feelings.
and look, I get that, but are you seriously still going to be a dick while you're actively dying? Really, dude? So anyway, when Jox abstracts finally, we get these flashbacks, and the song playing in the background is Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. Which no, this man is anything but lovely. Zubul saves her and pulls her out, and the circus just resets. Everything goes back to normal. Sure, I guess. So meanwhile, Kane has been floating in the void all sad since getting deleted, until he spots an exit door. And can I just say, watching Kane actually run on his little legs instead of flying is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Something about it is just deeply wrong looking. He uses his abilities to escape and comes back basically going, hey guys, I fucked up, can you forgive me? And everyone is just like, sure, LOL. And then he gives everyone some control over the circus and shows them a slideshow, literally like a school presentation, of their real human selves from the outside world. Social media posts and good things they did. Okay, so quick question. You guys just found out you're basically brain scan copies of your real selves and you're just okay with that. No shock, no sadness, nothing. We then skip to a montage of the gang just having fun. If I was Kinger, I would be so pissed. What do you mean Kinger's abstracted wife and the rest of the abstractions get to swim in an aquarium? But abstracted Jox gets princess treatment and sleeps in his own big 10th cast made for him. What the fuck, you guys? I would have to fight everyone if they put my wife in an aquarium. And the way they treat the abstractions is so weird to me. Why are they treating Jox like a dog and putting the rest of the abstractions in an aquarium like they're fish? You guys do realize they're people too, right? Not animals. It just feels so dehumanizing. I want to remind everyone that if you abstract, you're basically dead at that point. Keeping abstracted Jox in a tent is the equivalent of keeping a dead body as a pet in a doghouse. Oh, and Zubul X Gangle is canon now. By the way, they banged in the post-credit scene. And that's the ending. The finale obviously wants us to feel bad for Jox, but if I'm going to be honest, it didn't work. If anything, I think it worsened my hatred for him. This entire movie is basically just a Jox glaze fest from top to bottom. Also, a bit off topic, but I've noticed there's a lot of fan service in this episode. Pomni and Regatha had an intimate hug scene. Pomni and Jox had an intimate hug scene. Zubul X Gangle is canon now. It was kind of implied that Jox might have had a crush on Ribbit, and when Pomni was in Jox's dreams, Jox was wearing the same maid outfit he wore in episode 5 and flirting with Gangle in that maid outfit. I don't know, I just thought I'd point it out. If I'm rating this movie, I'd give it a 3.2 out of 10. The point 2 is because Jox died and because of the animation. The rest of it felt rushed, emotionally inconsistent, and honestly just kind of bad for a series finale. Anyways, that's the amazing digital circus finale. Goodbye, everyone.